Welcome. In this video, we'll guide you through the process of migrating an older relay to the REX615. We start with taking backup of the old relay. First part of the migration process is to export all three templates: Application Configuration Tool, Graphical Display Editor and Parameter Setting Tool from existing relays. Open PCM project containing existing relay files. Right-click on the IED and open Application Configuration Tool for the relay you want to migrate to REX615. Expand the file option from the menu bar and then select Main Application Template and Export. Keep all main apps selected to export all the tabs, or select the necessary main apps of your choice. Write description of your choice and click Save As. Once you click Save As, you can select directory or path where you want to save file. Give name to file and save. To export the parameter settings of old relay, right-click on the IED and open Parameter Setting Tool for the relay. Select Export Parameters to export parameter settings of the existing relay. Now you can select directory or path where you want to save file. Give name to file and save. To export the graphical display pages, right-click on the IED and open Graphical Display Editor for the relay. Expand the Graphical Display Editor option from the menu bar, and then select Export Display Pages as template. You can select display pages or select all to export all the pages. Write description of your choice and click on Export. Now you can select directory or path where you want to save file. Give name to file and save. At this point, our backup process is completed, and we are ready to start creating new REX615 IED configuration. To create new IED in plant structure, right-click on Bay Level and create new multi-application IED REX615 object. Once the configuration wizard is open, select Offline Configuration, IED Protocol, communication port and IP address of the port. Select the composition code of the new REX615 relay, or convert composition code of existing RE615 or RE620 relay to REX615 composition code using REX615 order conversion tool and copy the code from the tool. Once copied, paste it in the composition code selection of the configuration wizard. Once the appropriate composition code is selected, select Initial IED Configuration as Empty Configuration and SCL Edition or IEC 61850 version, Edition 1 or Edition 2 according to requirements. Then click Next to generate configuration. Once generated, verify the configuration summary and click on Finish. Now we can import the old relay file. We will start with Application Configuration. Right-click on the IED and open Application Configuration Tool. Application Configuration window will look empty initially. Expand the File option from the menu bar and select Main Application Template and Import for importing application configuration of existing relay. Click Browse to select the folder where you have saved backup of old relay. Select IED type as same as old relay. Select the application configuration template with the name you saved with. Keep all main apps selected to import all the tabs of application configuration and click on Import. After you click Import Template, migration details will appear. including upgraded hardware modules and function types, as well as obsolete components that will not be migrated or will be removed. Click Next after reviewing migration details. The paste information will show exhausted instances in red and hardware modules not allocated automatically. Click OK, and now you can manage hardware channels and variables. Click OK to continue. Now a pop-up will appear that the templates are inserted successfully. Close the Import Main Application window and save the application configuration. Once saved, all the available menus and option for the IED will appear in the plant structure. As the old relay and the new relay have some hardware differences, we need to verify and make the necessary changes to the application configuration. Open I/O tab of the application configuration and check BIBO allocation. In case of mismatch in hardware, module BIBO needs to be allocated to specific available hardware input or output. Allocated BIBO are indicated with white icons and non-allocated with red icons. To be allocated, click on the icon and select Allocate option, then make appropriate hardware module and BIBO selection. Click OK to allocate. Similarly, it can be reallocated to correct selection. As new REX615 relay allows user to select and assign analog input, we need to insert function blocks from the object types for current phase inputs ILT-CTR for residual current input resistor and UTV-TR for the voltage phase and residual input. Now insert hardware I/O analog inputs. Select hardware channel for each available phase and residual input as per connection. Connect each hardware channel to function blocks according to its designation. Create output variables from ILT-CTR, REST-TCTR, and UTV-TR. I3P for phase current output, IL1_DR, IL2_DR, and IL2_DR for disturbance recorder. IRES_MES for residual current output and IRES_MEAS_DR for disturbance recorder. Similarly, output variable can be created for UTV-TR function block. Once output variables are created, save the progress. Open Measurement tab of Application Configuration to assign analog quantities to the measurement function blocks. Align the measurement function blocks so that they are not colliding with adjacent blocks. Connect appropriate analog input variable to each measurement function blocks, that is, I3, P, IRES, U3P, and URES variables. Once variables are connected to the measurement function blocks, connect variables to FLTRFRC1 fault recorder's function block. In case all variables are not available for connection, then go to the General tab and create a special variable GRP off from the function block named Protection. This created output variable can be used for each unavailable inputs for fault recorder function block FLTRFRC. Similar to the measurement function block, connections for the analog inputs are required to protection function blocks. Go to Disturbance Recorder tab. Insert disturbance function blocks for binary channels B1, RBDR, and B2, RBDR, and analog channels A1 or ADR. Insert RDRE1 block and connect disturbance record triggered variable to triggered output of the block. Connect variables to the binary channels and analog channels of the function block. User-defined naming for disturbance recorder channels is possible by right-clicking on the channel and selecting Set User-Defined Name. Or by right-clicking Function and selecting Manage Signals. Once all the variables are connected, save application configuration. Validate application configuration. Once application configuration is validated successfully, check Output window and make sure there are no errors. When performing such migration activity, there are chances that some of function blocks are not assigned with mandatory input signals and will result in error. You can follow results and resolve errors. In our case, some of supervision functions and optional feature functions were missing mandatory inputs. We will resolve all the errors one by connecting appropriate input to the blocks. After connecting remaining mandatory inputs, you can save configuration and revalidate application configuration, and now errors should be resolved. Once all errors are resolved, you can close Application Configuration tool and proceed with next steps. Right-click on the IED and open Parameter Setting tool for the relay. Select Import Parameters to import parameter settings of the existing relay. Select the directory or path where the old file is saved, choose the file, and click Open. IED mismatch pop-up will be displayed as old IED model and new model is different. Click on Yes to proceed with the operation. Now new pop-up will indicate the new revisions of the functions. You can select all and click OK. Most of the parameters will be imported successfully, yet some parameter would have been skipped due to function mismatch or the function obsolete. You can check the skip parameters in the output window to confirm. You can manually add necessary parameters and then save parameters by pressing Ctrl+S to confirm changes. If needed, change IED name as it would have been changed to old relay or due to parameter import. Right-click on the IED and open Graphical Display Editor for the relay. Expend the Graphical Display Editor option from the menu bar. Select Import Display Pages from Template and browse the folder where you saved the file. Select the file and pages to import. Once imported, you can save graphical display configuration by pressing Ctrl+S. Unassigned objects in Graphical Display Editor are shown grayed out. You can select the appropriate input signal and save. If the input signal is already assigned, you can verify correct selection of input signal and close graphical display editor. Once you have completed all steps, relay file is now migrated from old relay to new REX615 relay. Now you can make necessary changes and perform write to IED operation.